Good evening, guys. It's me, Missy, with Pocatello Paranormal. Would like to continue my travels to Tombstone, Arizona at the Birdcage. And I spoke last week about the Birdcage and a few of my experiences, as well as some of the history. If anybody doesn't know, the Birdcage was built in 1881. This was one of the main entertainment hubs of Tombstone. This was a 24-hour, 24/7 gambling hall, a saloon. It was a theater. It was a dance hall, and it also was a brothel. So there was a lot that went through. There's a lot of chaos that went through there. We've got to think that a lot of duels happened. There was a lot of, unfortunately, murders that happened in this place, as well as suicides, and you name it, this place had it. So I guess they say that in this building there was over 100 bullets in the ceiling as well as the walls. So yeah, it definitely had its share of craziness, and it really still does. As I mentioned in the last episode, this place has a lot of energy, has a lot of residual energy, it has a lot of intelligent energy, and we have to remember that these spirits still think that they are in the 1800s and still living this life. And sometimes we can definitely be the the visitor or the strange being coming into this threshold of energy. So when we step into it as mediums or as sensitives, we are like a lighthouse. And so when we come in there, they're like, oh, she's gonna tell her story, she's gonna tell us tell us our story. I didn't want to die, I didn't want this to happen to me. Or where's this guy, because I want to finish this duel, basically. So we kind of have to think about things like that. There is a lot of sadness there, and there is some good times there. Obviously, this place was huge, and it was a big place, like Studio 54, if you think about it. And the last time I posted, I talked about some of the spirits that I came in contact with downstairs. There was a couple ladies that I came in contact with, and I'm going to talk about the back end, upstairs behind the theater. This place definitely had its share. Me being a medium had a lot go on. I had in contact with a little child, a little boy, and he passed away, not in the birdcage, but kind of outside of the birdcage. But he told me that his mom worked there. I didn't really get his name too much. A lot of it too was I was still trying to come into my abilities, even though I've had them all my life. But when it's been suppressed for so long, you're like, am I crazy? Like, what am I seeing? How am I knowing this stuff? And then later you talk to the tour guide and say, hey, I got this and this. Do you know who this is? And they say, yeah, we didn't mention that on the tour. Like, how did you know? So anyway, I did get in contact with that particular little boy. He loves to play, and he likes to play tricks on a lot of the tour guides that are there late at night, and especially early in the morning. They'll get him when they open. He hides a lot underneath the menorah that they have there, mainly because he's hiding from another spirit that's there that's not very friendly, and I'll get into that in just a minute. And he likes to play with the little, I think it's like a backgammon game or something like that, hangs on the menorah or the stagecoach. He likes to make it swing. So he did make his presence known when we sat around a table to do an EVP session and a just to see if anything will come across. And I had my back towards the menorah, which I did that on purpose, just because I wanted to see if the little boy would come through, which he kind of did, but then the energy shifted and there was this man there, and I felt him touch my shoulder. I told them, somebody is standing over me, and it is a male, and he's, not tall, but he's not short. He has scraggly hair. He wears like a old hat, and he has no idea what it means to keep your hands to yourself. And I did not feel very good with him and his energy, but I also stood my ground. I told them to quit touching me. And I kept telling my husband, somebody's here and somebody is touching me. And my whole body got really cold. And now there was a storm, but it wasn't raining. It was just the normal Arizona lightning that happens. And so with that, we know that lightning also causes a lot of energy in the air. So with that, he definitely was, and the other spirits were making themselves known. The tour guide later on told me that she believes it was the same spirit making himself known with me, because he decided to rub his hand up the inside of her leg. So he does not like to keep his hands to himself. He definitely had that energy of, I will do what I want, and women have no right to tell me no. And he definitely likes to stomp around there. He'll slam doors. He will get caught on pictures. People will take him, but he's a shadow. He definitely likes to be creepy. He likes to peek at women. So yeah, just he's definitely one of those energies that women, you better make sure you have yourself shielded and everything, because he will make himself known if he likes you. So yeah. After that session that we had before we left, everybody came up and touched me, and I literally was so cold that my whole body was cold. Like, I still was breathing, you can see my breath basically, and nobody else did. So that was an interesting experience for me. It definitely gave me a wake-up call to see what my abilities were truly, what was going on. There was a few choice words that this gentleman said to me, and I told him, sorry, not happening. And yeah, so anybody go there, just know that there is this male spirit, and he does like to touch people inappropriately. So keep yourself, whoever is very sensitive, kind of keep your guard up, as well as women who visit there and the tour guides. But if you guys ever go there, definitely go to the Birdcage, and the people that take care of it are truly amazing people. So, and they love it. So with that, guys, that's part 2, and I will continue with part 3, and then we'll see where we go. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our show, Pocatello Paranormal, on YouTube and Rumble. Bye, guys.